Hello everyone, it is Kristen Ellis here with KristenEllis.com, and this vlog is coming to you kind of spur of the moment, and it is because I have just had an epiphany. So I want to talk about good for great. Are you holding on to something good when you should be going for that thing that you know is probably great? If you are anything like me, maybe you have been doing this and you haven't really recognized that this is at the core of the inner conflict that is going on inside of you. So, 4 ways that you can really hone in on whether or not this is the reason as to why you've been just feeling so conflicted and so confused. The first thing is that I mentioned is this inner conflict. It feels like you are that square peg really trying to fit in to that round hole. It feels like, something just isn't right. Something just isn't right. Maybe you think things like, I'm living a lie. This feels like a lie. This does not feel like me. Maybe if you're anything like me in the business that I was in, maybe you are like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? This should be working. This should be working. Something is wrong. Something is not right. So if you are having those inner conflict feelings, and if you are saying things of that nature in terms of living a lie, this isn't right, there's a disconnect somewhere, I just don't know. It's probably because you are holding on to something that you should be letting go of. Second thing that we're going to talk about is the community that you are a part of, or the culture that you're trying to fit into just isn't really you. And I'll give you an example. For an example, I was part of a few groups and a part of a few communities that really started to not really resonate with me. It's like the content and the value that they were bringing to the table, I'd be like, yeah, that's good, but that's a little boring. What else do you have? It really just doesn't resonate with you. I found out that I was a little more tenacious and a little more bold than the communities that I was allowing myself to be a part of. Okay, and that is going to lead me to my next thing that I'm going to talk about. Okay, the third thing is that maybe you have goals that are constantly being unmet. If you have goals that are constantly being unmet, and if you have goals left laying on the table, there's a disconnect between that goal and your passion behind that goal. Okay, and if there's a disconnect between that goal and the passion behind your goal, then there's probably a disconnect into what you are actually doing and the reasons behind why you're doing it. And that was so true for me. For 2 years, I never met a single goal in an endeavor that I was trying to go down. Never met a single goal. And when I finally came to terms with the fact that maybe I just really wasn't as passionate about those types of goals and the reasons behind those goals as I thought I was, I let it go, and it was so freeing. Okay, so freeing. Another thing, the fourth thing that we're going to talk about in terms of are you holding on to something that you should be letting go, is feelings of loneliness. Okay, and this goes back to that whole community and that culture thing that I was talking about. If you are feeling lonely, okay, and if you are saying things like, I'm all alone, I'm so lonely, you get the gist. You are probably surrounded by people who probably just aren't your tribe, and you can feel like you're less than them, you should be like them, this and that, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just that that isn't the right place for you, and that's not the right environment for you. Okay? Some things that you can do to fix that, you can go out and you can create your own culture. You can go out and you can create your own community. For me, I knew, the vision for my business and where I wanted to take it. I knew that it was bold, and I knew that it was super creative, and I knew that it was super tenacious. And it was a little more gritty than the mold that I was trying to fit into. And for 2 years, it left me feeling like there's something wrong with me. Why aren't these people my friends? Why aren't I connecting with these people? Well, it's not that they are doing something wrong to you and you're doing something wrong to them. It's just that it's not clicking because they're not your tribe, okay? So I really want to encourage you guys to really analyze what's going on in your life. And this doesn't even have to be for business. This could be friendships, relationships, this can be used in every single aspect of your life. You really need to analyze it, and you really need to get down to those 4 key concepts. Are you having inner conflict? Are you feeling lonely? Are you feeling like, well, maybe this is just me living a lie? Are you meeting goals in your life that you feel like you should be meeting, but you're just not getting there? Okay, you need to take a look at those 4 things, and you really need to be honest and real with yourself and say, is this really for me? Is this really for me? And if the answer is yes, then you need to go back to the drawing board and figure out those passions and those reasons behind those passions. If the answer is no, and if you have something in the back of your mind where you're like, I know I should probably go do that, I could see myself doing that, then you need to go and do that. You need to make that transition, and you need to make that leap into leaving something good and going for that great, okay? I would rather lose for who I am than gain for who I'm not, okay? And that is what this is all about. This is about keeping your authenticity, and this is about being true to yourself and keeping yourself accountable. So that is all I've got. Check me out at KristenEllis.com, and I am your transformation mentor, okay? Until next time.